Hello and welcome back to my Astro Imaging Journey channel. And in this episode, I'm going to try to get my filter wheel offset, my filter offsets for focusing dialed in. So, first thing I'm going to want to do is make sure I'm set to luminance. Got my frame and focus. I just did a quick little image here. Really don't need to do that now or going forward. But what I am going to do is I'm going to bring up Notepad. And I'm just going to do L and target. So let's go ahead and run a focus routine. Let's change that to a 4. And let's see what we end up with for luminance. And then we will switch to H alpha and see what our offset is. And then we will switch back to luminance, go to S2, go back to luminance, rinse and repeat until I get them all offset. All right, luminance has been completed, so let's tag that one. That is 13351. So now we're going to go down to red, set, and let's go ahead and run it. And let's hope we can achieve focus. All right, red has completed and it was only 8 off. So we're going to do a +8. Now we're going to rerun the luminance. Whoop, cancel. Yes. Have to set it. There we go. Now let's run it again. And let's see how far off we are from that 351 that we got before. Temperatures dropped just a hair. All right, one thing I did notice now that we're back, I was at 13,351 and it was 559. So it was 208, not 8, that I was off. So I've corrected that. And now I'm at 403. So let's close that. Set our filter to blue. And let's run it. All right. So now we're green. We're at 352. So 13,403 minus 13,352 means we are minus 51. Interesting. That's okay. Let's do luminance again. Let's run it. Let's see where we end up with. All right, now we're at a 430. So let's move on to green. I just noticed I did blue last time. So while that is running, I'm going to change this. And we'll let that finish. See what our offset is. All right, that's completed. So let's 13430 minus 13211 negative 219. And let's go back to luminance. Whoop. And let's run it. All right, that's completed at 13485. So we will switch over to H alpha. Run it and see where we end up. All right, that's completed. And we are at 13,789, so 13,485 minus 13,789 minus 304. And go back to luminance once again. Run it and see where we're at. All right, that is completed. Now we are at 13,360. So let's switch over to sulfur. And let's run it. All right, sulfur is completed at 13,947. So let's 13,360 minus 13,947. That should be positive 587. So that's out. Yep. Okay. Let's close that. Back to luminance. And let's run it. All right. So luminance is now done. 13,394. And we're on to oxygen. And let's run it. All right, that's completed. So 13,394 minus 13,158. So we're at negative 236. Back to luminance for one last time. All right, that's completed at 13,529. So now we will move down to hydrogen beta, set, and run. All right, that one's completed. So 13,529 minus 12,685. So we are at minus 844. All right. Close that out. We'll just go ahead and park that in the luminance. I mean, aside from S2, they're all pretty close. I mean, they're supposed to be parfocal. So I don't know if this variance, with the exception of S3, is within that parfocal range. The hydrogen beta is a different manufacturer. All of these are ZWOs, and this one was astronomic. So I anticipated this one being further out or further away from the luminance. But for the most part, I guess that's pretty close except for that one. But not too terrible. So let me set let's go here. Set filter. There it is. Okay. So 0 there. Red was 208. Blue was negative 51. Green was negative 219. Negative 304. $587. Neg 236. And negative 844. And we'll go ahead and we'll do an import to reset everything. I don't like where that is at. I mean, that's the focus point. Okay, clearly I was struggling there for a little bit, and part of the reason was I just wasn't understanding a couple things on the offset settings in the control panel. So, to that end, and apologies for some fan noise in the background, the PC decided to spin up the fans. Anyways, squirrel moment. I did notice in my notes, and then I went back, watched the video again. So let's go into the settings, and let's go to edits. And right here, that should have been 304 positive. And we'll hit OK to save that. Now, the other thing that we need to look at is the if we look here, it says filter offset. And if we go here, it says focus point. That's what has me a little bit confused. And I went back, did some reading, and essentially what I've read is that you set your focus point to be the start point, and then all your offsets will be here. I'll get into that in a second. And we set this to focus on luminance. So it should focus on luminance, then calculate the difference between the two, move it the appropriate distance once you're focused, and we'll be good to go. I have not been able to test that yet, and frankly I haven't been able to really find good reliable information, but that's a rant for another day. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in here to settings, edit, and I know my luminance is 0. So let me get out the little snipping tool. I'm just going to take that, and I know that hydrogen beta is -844. So we're going to go back over here. Now, for my particular setup, mid-range is roughly 1700. So I'm just going, or 17,000. So I'm just going to use my start point as 17,000. Let's go over to the snipping tool. So my red filter should be 208. So that will be 17,208. The blue is 51 below that. So that should be 16,949. Green is -219. So that would be 17,219 is 16,781. Yep, okay. And 304 for H alpha. 17,304. 587. -236. 236 would be 764. And hydrogen beta was 844 negative. So 16,156. And we'll just go ahead and click OK. It does not report. Okay. So the way I understand it is this is the start point for the focusing, and when you begin your focus, if it's say 15,000, it should come back here and calculate that 17,208. Let's say we're going to be shooting red. It should calculate 17,208 to 1,700 is 208 steps away. We were focused at 15,000. So we should move to 15208. That's the way I understand it. It's the way I've read the documentation. I could be incorrect, but next opportunity to image, I will be testing this out. If we go back to focusing, I don't have it connected right now, but as you can see, use autofocus on filter change, and autofocus with luminance. So with any luck, and if I go here, there's all my settings that I just set. So with any luck, if I read the documentation correctly and my understanding is correctly, I start my routine, I autofocus with luminance, it gets the starting point, goes over to the filter list, or let's say we're in the middle of the session, we're imaging hydrogen beta. It should move the focusing wheel over to luminance, achieve focus, then look at our filter list. Hydrogen alpha is 304 above the 17,000. So if we were focused at 15,000, it should move it to 15,304, and we should be good to go. And if the temperature changes by the 1 degree I have set, let's go over there. The 1 degree I have set here, or every 90 minutes, it will move the focus wheel back to luminance, achieve focus, calculate the offset, move that number of steps, move it back to the filter that we want to image with, or that we are imaging with, and continue on. That is the way I understand it. I am not sure that I understand it that well. So, as my channel name says, Astro Imaging Journey, it's a journey, it's a learning experience. Hopefully I have read correctly and understood correctly, and the next imaging session I am able to do, I will be using these settings and we will see if it works. That will be a different video. If you see a problem with the methodology that I did to figure out my offsets, meaning go to luminance and then go to the desired filter, focus on both, see what the offset is, go back to luminance, go to my next one, so on and so forth. If you think that methodology is flawed, let me know in the comments and let me know what you do. Maybe your way will work better for me. Hopefully this way works for me as well. If you're familiar with these offsets and particularly these settings here, if I did it right, please let me know. It'd be great to hear from you in the comments. If it didn't work, or if it doesn't work the way I think it does, and you know of the proper way to do it, then by all means, point me to some online documentation, via a link or another creator's YouTube channel that explains it. Anything would be helpful so that I can understand, and then I can update the video accordingly. So, or another video accordingly, and then tag this one as outdated and unuseful. Either way, let me know. So with that, I'm going to say thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully this was useful if the information is correct, and I hope you liked it. Please stick around for the outro. As always, clear skies, and have a good one.
Thanks for watching yet another episode from the Astro Imaging Journey channel. Really appreciate your viewership. In our upper right, we have the latest video that I have posted prior to this one. Down in the lower right, we have what YouTube thinks you will enjoy. Below is a subscription link. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you so choose, ring that bell if you want to get notified of something new, and as always, thank you, clear skies. Remember, dude.